So is this supposed to pass as a sister circle? Hey, y'all, gravity, any day above ground living. So you already know what to do. Share, like, and subscribe. That's why I share, like, and subscribe, because I'm not like other YouTubers. I'm different. Lord, folk, strap in. This is going to be a long video. I'm just going to warn you now. Get your drinks, get your favorite snacks, strap in. We got a lot. I did it for the culture, folks. Y'all need to give me my flowers. I might put the Cash App in the description box. Give me my flowers, because I sat through not one but two showings of that MSNBC / Peacock presentation of The Culture Is. Lord, when I tell you the amount of content that I gleaned from that, I had to take notes, folks. We got a lot to talk about. So, of course, this is a 4-part series that MSNBC has put on. And of course, they had to start out with black women, you know, the most disrespected, the most unheard, the most imitated. You know, we've all heard the adjectives. But of course, they had to start with them. But of course, they had to start this 4-part special on not only Juneteenth, but on Father's Day. And we all know Father's Day was created by FBAs to, you know, celebrate black fatherhood. But I digress. But of course, MSNBC makes the rules. So they said, hey, Father's Day is going to end at 9:59 p.m. So at 10 o'clock, you guys can watch this. Okay, fine, whatever. So they have Joy Reid and Tiffany Cross host this little shindig. And they went all the way to Harlem and brought a venerable who's who of actresses, representatives, not a senator, representatives, social media personalities, and I don't know what else you want to call them. Black women. We'll just call them what it is. Yes, folks. And this dais was quite the dais. We have Maria Taylor, Ayanna Pressley, Tarana Burke. We had Robin Thede, Ryan Michelle Bathe, Melba Wilson, who owned the restaurant they were sitting in. Tamika Lindsay, who was a retired U.S. Navy captain, and she attained the highest rank in Navy history. So shout out to her. I didn't have a problem with her. And Nikole Hannah-Jones, Miss 1619 Project. Lord, I could, you know what? Let's just get into it, because like I said, there's a lot we gotta talk about. Then she also went in on natural hair. Now, I know this probably perked up some of y'all in here. Like, what the hell did she say about natural hair? Folk, she was talking with the Ryan Michelle Bathe. And she was wearing a beautiful hairstyle, by the way. It was beautiful. I was like, But she said, I wish I could rock your hair like that. I was like, okay, that sounded somewhat complimentary, but you kind of knocked yourself. So I was like, all right. I didn't take too much credence into that until she talked to Ayanna Pressley, folks. And she was putting her over for doing the Crown Act, which I'll explain later again, since I have to tell y'all that it was BS. But she said, as soon as you signed that Crown Act, I started wearing my hair. I started trying to wear my hair every which way I could. So basically, you just lied on film. You told Ryan Michelle Bathe, I wish I could wear my hair like you. But when you talked to Ayanna Pressley, you said because of the Crown Act, I started wearing my hair in all these different ways. So you had an opportunity to rock your hair like Ryan Michelle Bathe. Even if it was weave or extensions, you could have done it. See, here in the new black media, folks, we listen. We are taught to listen to someone's words and look behind the words. I got taught that at an early age by my father. Look beyond what somebody's saying, because their true message is behind their words. So she just sat there and lied to y'all, saying that she couldn't wear her hair the way she wanted to unless this Crown Act was signed. Yet she has power at MSNBC. She could damn sure wear her hair any way she wants. But she needs a BS law to tell her how to wear her hair. Interesting. Very interesting. Oh, Joy Reid annoys me. She does. And I think on a scale of 1 to 10, I might have to give her a 5. She didn't talk as much because she had to do double duty with Tiffany Cross. And she wasn't as annoying as she usually is on her show, but yeah, nah. I'm not with her, man. She can go somewhere. But let's continue. By the way, I'm purposely not talking about her interview with Kamami in Mississippi because I want to do a separate video on that. So I'm going to let her breathe a little bit before I rip that one apart. But like I said, let's continue. Moving on to Miss Tiffany Cross. Folk. Tiffany Cross was going extra hard out here. She went so hard she cried, folks. I know I spoiled it. Now you'll have to go watch it. Yes, folks, she cried in this. I mean, all of them shed tears, but she was actually crying. But before she cried, folks, she lamented the fact that she was a career-driven woman with no man, no kids. We've heard this before from a lot of women. They chose their career and the fame and the fortune over happiness. And you're seeing a lot of women nowadays lamenting that, and a lot of women saying, hey, you can balance that with a good man. You shouldn't just, say, hey, it's all about me. I'm going to get everything I want. And then when I'm in my 30s and 40s, go look for a man. Nah, that's not how life works. And now you're seeing this play out. But she's talked about that. She took her shot at married black women. Yes, she did. She basically looked down on them, including talking about how her and Ryan Michelle Bathe were co-signing the fact that even though that she's in a married relationship with Sterling K. Brown, she walks alone. I don't know how the hell you figured that out, ma'am. When you're in a marriage, it's 50-50. You guys are walking side by side. It's not like boyfriend, girlfriend, where she can walk in the back of you. That's not how life works when you're married. See, this is where the ignorance of Tiffany Cross came to bear, and how Ryan Michelle Bathe didn't check her because, of course, again, like I always tell y'all in here, black women, y'all got to start checking each other. Because information like this gets sent out there, and if there's no course correction, everybody's going to think that you agree with it. This was a perfect opportunity to school Tiffany Cross and the single women at the table how to be a married black woman. But, of course, she let that bypass because she's on TV and she's with her sister, so, of course, she's not going to say anything. Maybe she did it off camera. Who knows? But yeah, she did that. And of course, couldn't go through this whole special without bringing up white women when they're talking about us. Because, of course, she said, well, when they can't handle with us, I'm just paraphrasing, of course. She basically said because since they're not in relationships with black men because of that dichotomy that they love talking about, that's stereotypical. Like we're always at odds with each other. We go elsewhere to go get love and all this. Ma'am, again, easy stats. You're a journalist. You should know this. 88% of black men are married to black women. We're only dating out about 7% of the time. You guys are dating out about 4% of the time. Stop using the 7% to define black men. Doesn't work, ma'am. It looks bad when you do that. Looks very bad. Because you're following what the white supremacists are telling you to do. Tiffany Cross eyes, man. She's never going to get it. She's never going to get it. And every day she's on her show saying things like this. And I'm choosing violence. This is why you're single, man. Not cool. So on a scale of 1 to 10, annoyance factor, she's about a 7. She was very annoying in here. But she wasn't the top spot. Top spot I'm going to get to later. But let's move on. Since I've been talking about her, let's talk about Ryan Michelle Bathe. Like I said, she's Sterling K. Brown's wife. They've been married for 15 years. I just celebrated 5, so we're getting there. We're getting there. But like I said, I brought up the fact that she agreed with Tiffany Cross saying, I walk alone in my marriage. I don't know how you figured that out, man. And I love when they bring up the patriarchy when they talk about black men. She brought up patriarchy, saying that the patriarchy serves men. Ma'am, I don't think anybody's ever told you this, or maybe you're not aware of this, but black society, we're the only society that's matriarchal. So how's the patriarchy working for us? Especially because you talked about the patriarchy with your husband in Hollywood, talking about how when he comes home, he's just smiling and he has the tools to defeat white supremacy. Ma'am, let me explain something to you. Maybe you missed this in the 15 years you've been with this man after you said I do. But see, black men, we deal with a lot of stuff outside. Yes, we do. I can attest to this. I deal with a lot of stuff outside, at work, on the street, a lot of things. Guess what I don't do? I don't bring them problems into my house. Yeah, I might have my little bad days at work and I just want to offload on the wife, but those are very, very minuscule. Black men, like I said, have enough to deal with outside. You think we want to bring it home to our families? No. Chris Rock had a legendary skit about that when he was talking about women working at JCPenney's and they were coming home with their problems a mile a minute as soon as you walk in the door. Great skit, Bigger and Blacker. Go look it up. Great special. We do not bring our problems home to our women because our home is supposed to be sacred. It's supposed to be our place of peace. Why am I going to go outside, deal with that, and then bring it to you when you already have your own problems? Y'all would call us selfish for that. Likewise, if you came home with your problems, yes, we're going to listen to it. We're going to give you a solution because we want to end it. We want to see the smile on your face, which you articulated in the special, by the way. He's like, he's all happy and great. Yes, that's what we're supposed to do. So, yeah, maybe you missed that in the 15 years. But, you know, again, it's course correction. We can always come back and improve. That's all we can do in life is improve, especially in marriages. Just improve. But you also said something in there at the beginning when you first talked that, yeah, I think you've been listening to the new black media. You said, I would say something, but I'm trying to keep my corporate overlords happy. Corporate overlords. Now she's talking about NBC because she has a show on NBC. Corporate overlords. Okay. I don't even have much to say on that one. But yes, on a scale of 1 to 10 for Ryan Michelle Bathe, I'm going to have to give her a 4. It would have been lower, but when she said, I walk alone in my marriage, and that patriarchy comment, which, by the way, I don't know how the patriarchy serves black men, because as soon as they get into Hollywood, they try to buck break them. So I don't know how the patriarchy is working for us, but, maybe you're seeing something different. But yeah, you would have been about a 2, but those 2 comments shot you up to a 4. But let's continue. All right, let me just get her out of the way before I go on Tarana Burke. Maria Taylor. Now, when I did my live stream last week, I said she's going to take shots at the mouse. She took shots at the mouse. She explained her history. She didn't annoy me. I actually respected the fact that she was very open and honest. What she was talking about, it didn't bother me. So she's about a 1. She didn't annoy me. And Tamika Lindsay, shout out to her. U.S. Navy, I salute. Didn't annoy me. I liked what she was talking about. She was a 1 as well. Those 2 were fine. And the NBA president, Players Association president, I forget her name. I'm sorry. She was telling her story. She didn't annoy me. She's a 1. So those 3 women could get pushed aside. Tarana Burke, I got to get. Folk, I still don't understand how this woman is getting shine. I still don't get it. Nah, I thought that was funny when she first came on and she said they're still getting recognition off my work. That was funny as hell. I'm glad she finally acknowledged it out loud. She had 6 years to do it, but better late than never. That was funny as hell. But then she said, Me Too was around when Rosa Parks and the rest of the female civil rights members and collaborators were trying to get their foot in the door. Ma'am, no, we're not doing that. Okay, we're not doing that. If you want to believe those stories that black women were being looked down upon during the civil rights movement, cool. Let's keep it there. Me Too was something completely different. Me Too was designed, as you said, to protect black girls from black men. That's what you created it for. We're not going to do that, okay? You're not going to try to conflate history. Keep Me Too where it is. All right? We're not doing that. And then you brought up, I love black men. Now, I'm sorry. My wife heard me laugh my ass off when I heard that. You love black men. Were you not the same one who went on Mark Lamont Shill's show on that failed black news channel with Professor Crump? Professor Chung. Jesus Christ. I keep fucking up her name. Brittany Cooper, a.k.a. Professor Crunk. When Bill Cosby got acquitted and got released from jail. Did y'all not go on that man's show and call that man the R word, but you love black men? I don't know no black women who love black men going around calling black men the R word. Again, he was convicted of sexual assault, not the R word. That one we not going to do. But, of course, you're a black woman who gets upset at black men who take advantage of women, which I'm not condoning, by the way. But when the white boys were doing it and the white men, you were completely silent. Especially the ones that were doing it to black girls. Matter of fact, since we're going to bring that up, let's bring it up. Ma'am, I happen to do research. You know me. Well, you don't know me, but the people on this know me. I do my research. Guess what I did in the process of doing this video? I said, you know what? Since she said I love black men so much and I'm protecting black girls because that's what, that's what the Me Too movement was for. I said, you know what? Let me look up something. I said, did she say anything about Chad Wheeler? I'm just curious. Did she say anything? Now I looked all and down the timeline on Twitter, and yeah, I didn't see you say anything about that. But you did say that we were violent towards black women repeatedly. You didn't even take up for that black woman he damn near almost killed. But yeah, you love black men so much. Interesting. Very interesting. I wonder if you said anything. I don't know if you went back this far, but I don't know. Did you say anything about that young boy up in Connecticut who got accused of the R word by that white woman who turned out to be a lie? Did you say anything? Nah, you didn't say nothing. What about the young boy over in Jersey who got his last cut before his wrestling match? Did you say anything about that? I looked it up. I didn't see anything. But yeah, you love black men. Interesting. Yeah. Oh, but the highlight of her appearance on this show was, folks, not only did she take shots at the white feminists, but she said for her Time magazine shoot, which she didn't know they were going to put her on the cover, they gave her 3 days to get clothes and to get ready. She said she couldn't get her hair done, and she made it abundantly and crystal clear that she could not get her hair done in 3 days. Her braids weren't tight. That's what she said in the show, folks. Her braids weren't tight. And y'all know me. My braids are always tight. She wasn't wearing braids in this, though, by the way, folks. Her hair was straight. But anyway, her braids had to be tight. But she couldn't get it done for 3 days. And she had to bring her own shirt. A yellow shirt and a blue shirt. Say less. Anyway, Tarana Burke. For annoyance factor, I might have to give her. I might have to give her a 6. She might have to get a 6. She might have to get a 6. No, I'm gonna go up to a 7. I thought about that. I love black men comment again and just pissed me off. I had to add an extra number. Yeah, she got to get a 7. But let's continue. Oh, Ayanna Pressley. Damn. You just can't seem to leave well enough alone. Now, number one, all through this, she looked like somebody pissed in her food. I don't know what that half-ass smile, like she watches somebody burning acid. Or like she has that look like she's getting revenge. She always has this look. Y'all got to look up this look. Y'all want the perfect look? Go look up her first picture when she got elected in 2018. Look that picture up. That's exactly how she looked through this entire thing. Folks, she was vying for the top spot. She was vying for the top spot. She said black women can't be joyful. Black women can't be joyful. Opinion, I'm not even going to fight that. She brought up the Crown Act again. And as I've told y'all, the Crown Act is not for black women. That is to appease non-black women. Yeah, I know that shocked you. It was that was not created for us. That's not created for black women. It was no. Black women are the avatar of it, but that's for non-black women. That's for them on Casual Friday to wear pink and green hair and people can't say nothing. That's for the goth and the emo chicks who want to put parts in their hair and shave one side off and be a distraction. But you can't say anything to them because you'd be discriminating. This is for the girls who want to wear their hair all the way down to the crack of their ass. In the military, now the military can't say anything, even though they want it high and tight. Now that this law is there, you can't, it's not really a law. You can't discriminate in the military now. School places and the workplace. Can't discriminate. So black women, I done told y'all this. They're not going to discriminate against y'all for y'all hair. They're not even going to bother. When y'all go applying for these jobs, they're not even going to bother looking at you. They'll see you when you come in and you'll have your beautiful natural hair. That's fine. If they don't like your hair, they'll just say, hey, we have better qualified candidates. You'll never know. When you rock all your different hairstyles and they get annoyed, they'll just say it's your job performance. Oh, you were late 3 times within 90 days. Yeah, we got to let you go. There's always loopholes. I told y'all this when this first came out. There's going to be loopholes. They're not even going to deal with y'all. And y'all going to think it's your hair. You're going to try to fight it in court. And they're going to be like, well, there's no evidence of this. They've never said anything to you before. So why are they going to say it now? But her main contribution to this show, folks, she said our labor is a greater value than our life. Huh? Black women, y'all give life. How is that? How is your labor a greater value than your life? Nobody asked y'all to go outside and try to do 80 to 100 hours like men. Nobody told y'all to do that. Y'all followed them white feminists. That's y'all fault. See, again, y'all got warped thinking that white ice is colder than black ice. Nobody told y'all had to go outside and try to compete with men. No. I know it's tough to hear a black man tell you this, but we value what y'all bring already. We don't need you to be us with more hair. Nah, that's not what you're here for. We're here to complement each other. We're here to love on each other. We're here to create something. I'm not trying to compete with my wife. I'm not trying to compete with my children. As a black man, I got to lead. As a black woman, you've got to be protecting my 3, 9, and 6 while I'm trying to focus on the 12. That's what we're here for. When I fall, you're supposed to pick me up. You ain't supposed to pass me. Like, y'all always run around with these tropes and y'all think that the shit is sweet. No, that's not how life works. And this is why everything with us is out of whack right now. Y'all trying to be us. We don't want y'all to be us. We want y'all to be with us. But again, y'all let all these powerful black women and semi-powerful black women warp y'all minds and y'all run outside with this. And then when the backlash comes and the criticism comes, y'all can't seem to handle it. But, it's Ayanna Pressley. By the way, when y'all look up the picture, because I have it in the thumbnail, is it me or is that necklace she got on chains? Now, I asked my wife, she said, it does. That's a style. Why are you wearing chains or jewelry that looks like chains? Why are you doing this? I'm asking for a friend. I'm asking for the 668 subscribers that I have on my channel. I'm asking y'all, why does she have chains on? Go to the thumbnail and look. I'm not understanding this, but annoying factor. I'll give her a 7. I'll give her a 7. She didn't talk as much, so I'll give her a 7. But let's continue. All right, let's get this. Nikole Hannah-Jones, Miss 1619 Project herself. Now, to be fair, I don't know too much about this chick. I just know that she kept getting debunked by the New York Times, who, by the way, she's employed by. Now, I know she has a Pulitzer and all that for that, but I mean, damn, they keep correcting her thing every 7 months. So I don't know what to believe with her. All right, fine. I'll just tell y'all the truth, folks. I tuned her out every time she was talking. Maybe one day I'll do a show and do some more research on her, but I couldn't get into her. So I'm going to say not available with the annoyance factor with her. That's what I'll do. But let's get to Melba Wilson. Now, again, she was the owner of the restaurant that they were all sitting in, and she served the food. It looked beautiful, of course. That's just the chef in me. But she got to sit down near the end. Vote. Now, red flag number 1 for Miss Melba. She talked about it's okay to take the cape off sometimes. Again, just like I just explained about the one Ayanna Pressley. Ain't nobody told y'all to be Superwoman. We didn't tell y'all this. This is something you guys listen to white feminists and conjured up in your minds. We don't need Superwomen. Okay, black women. I'm going to bring my blurred into it. And for those who don't know, that's a black nerd. I'm going to bring my black nerd into this. Hey, black women. In the world of comic books, everybody likes to talk about Superman. Everybody likes to talk about Batman. Everybody likes to talk about Wonder Woman. Everybody likes to talk about She-Hulk. Black women, we don't need y'all to be Wonder Woman. That's great if you can do it, but most of y'all can't do it. We don't need y'all to be Wonder Woman. We don't need y'all to be Nubia. We don't need y'all to be Vixen. We don't need this. Okay, we don't. We're trying to be like Icon and Rocket. That's what we're trying to be. We're trying to be the big force out there acting like Superman, beating up everybody. You know, we want y'all to be our Rocket. You got the belt. You could bring out the force bubbles. But the main reason why we want y'all to be the Rocket is because when Icon and Rocket are together, they create magic. They create beautiful music together. They do. Go read the comics. They're out there. Not the new stuff. Read the old stuff from the 90s. Shout out to Dwayne McDuffie. Rest in power, brother. That's what we need. That's what we're looking for. We're looking for that black dynamic duo. We don't need Superman, Wonder Woman. We don't need that. Now, if you want to do that for the children, cool. But when it's just us, we're trying to be Icon and Rocket. So yeah, that we got to stop with that. We got to put on the cape, take it off. Let's cut that out. Because you're selling the young females a bad message. You're putting them in a position where they have to already be the superhero before they even get through the training. Nah, can't do that no more. And then she was also advocating for sister circles. I was like, okay, I agree with that. But if you're going to do the sister circles, like I said, we're going to do with the summit that I did in my live stream about a month ago, you have to be genuine with it. You guys have to really sit there and have the hard, honest conversations. Not just be a kiss ass fest. It can't be like that. Nah. Because then you're just sitting there complimenting each other. Y'all got to check each other. There's got to be criticism lodged at each other for that to work. That's what sister circles do. They outline problems and they figure out the solution. You guys, when you guys do things like what y'all did, this was just a kiss ass fest. And the only time you knocked each other is when you were knocking somebody else. Nah, we don't. That's not what we do here. But like I said, every one of these women had highlights. And Miss Melba Wilson is no exception, because her highlight was she brought out that term women of color. Ma'am, you're sitting at a table with black women. Why are you bringing up women of color? You guys are not women of color. Women of color do not identify with y'all. I don't know how many times we got to tell y'all this. Y'all are the same ones that always run out and say, Kim Kardashian want to be us. This white woman want to be us. This Asian wants to be us. This Indian over here. Kamami wants to be us. Okay, I say that, but everybody else out here wants to be us. But then when you have an opportunity to separate yourselves from everybody else, you bring up women of color. Which tells the outside world that you can't stand on your own merits. I don't know what it's going to take. Do you need the rest of those segments of society to cuss y'all out just to realize that y'all don't have friends? Maybe that's what it's going to take. I don't know. But yeah, the women color, us in the new black media, we don't even use them terms. We killed people of color. They don't even use it anymore. We killed BIPOC. They don't even use it anymore. We went in on Latinx. They don't even use it anymore. We're now going to, I guess, thanks to you now, we're going to have to go destroy women of color. But again, we're men. We can't do that. You sisters have to do that. Especially the ones in B1. Y'all got to destroy that term, women of color. But Miss Melba Wilson, annoyance factor, I will put you low. You were about a 1, and you got a 1 because you advocated for sister circles, which I really liked. But again, you have to clarify that next time. And you came late, so you were direct with what you were saying. So you weren't bad. So kudos to you. But folk, we got one more to talk about. One more. Robin Thede. Okay. I'm going to assume Robin Thede is the baby on this panel. I'm going to assume that. Because I know Joy Reid's almost 50. Tiffany Cross is in her 40s. Melba Wilson's got to be at least in her late 50s. And also the one, what's her name? Jesus Christ. Miss Captain Lindsay and who was the other one? Tarana Burke. They got to be in their 50s. Or at least for Tarana Burke, maybe late 40s. Ayanna Pressley, I know she's 48. I know that. Ryan Michelle Bash, she looks like she's in her mid-30s. Maria Taylor said she was 35. Nikole Hannah-Jones, I know she's over 40. So she has to be the baby of the group. Folk, this is why a lot of times we do not give female comedians shine. They do too much. She was doing too much here, folks. I'm going to say that again. She was doing too much. I brought up the fact of her age because she was acting like the baby of the room. She was yelling to make her point. Ma'am, everybody there got shine. You didn't have to perform to get your message out. She's sitting there yelling, being over hyper masculine. Why? Folk, you know me. If You know it's a problem if I'm with the statement I'm about to say. If this chick can make Tarana Burke look feminine on this panel, we've got an issue. Tarana Burke came off more feminine than Robin Thede. I'm just going to say it. Now, I'm sure y'all going to hit that for hate speech. That's fine. I'll put the video right back up. But anyway, Robin Thede, I hope they got to her after this show, because her performance there, she did nobody any favors to go look her up now. Now, for those who don't know, she's a comedian, a comedy writer, and she has a show on HBO, Black Girl Sketch Show. Okay, great. I applaud that. Get in. Now, they played a clip of her on the Larry Wilmore show back in the day when he had his show. And the joke that she did wasn't even funny. I was waiting for it to be funny. He was like, oh, you're at headquarters? She's like, yeah, that's right. He's like, oh, which headquarters? The black one. And everybody was laughing. I was like, where's the joke? I was waiting for it. I was like, okay. I was like, all right, whatever. Now, first she said that she's in a white dominated industry. I'm like, ma'am, you've ascended over a lot of white comedians and white comedy writers. You have your own show on HBO, which means you can push the boundaries. That's a hell of an accomplishment. You should be crediting your work, not lamenting the fact that you're in a white male dominated field. You're almost making it sound like they gave you that show just for you to be quiet. Larry Wilmore made you his head writer. He didn't have to do that. He could have easily got a black comic off the street to be his head writer, but he chose you. You should have be grateful that you had that opportunity, which I'm sure you are, but still, the way you came off, you were looking for more pity than adulation. Now, like I said, you were over there being hyper masculine for no reason. She's like, Pastor, will somebody take this chicken in the grass away from me? Paraphrasing. And then they were like, oh, it's fish. She was like, the fish or the grass, whatever. I'm like, okay, why are you doing this? Why? You can easily just talk and be funny. But of course, we got to talk about the highlight. And I think Robin Michelle Bathe, you got to get a little bit more criticism for this. And I mentioned this before when you were talking to Tiffany Cross. This Robin Thede took a shot at your husband. Now, I know she was trying to be funny. She said, quote, when I first met your husband, he was I'm not going to say it. And everybody started laughing. Ma'am, and I'm talking to Ryan. Well, first, let me talk to Robin. Robin, first off, you were way out of line for that. No. Y'all the same ones that run around saying, oh, black men keep talking about us. Black men keep disparaging us. Black men this, black men that. But you're on a panel with black women, some of whom are married, and you're taking a shot at a black husband. What were you going to call him? A square, a lame, whatever? No, that's not what we do. We don't do this. Respect that woman's marriage. Respect that man. Because we know damn well what would have happened if this was the culture is black men and it was a whole bunch of black men sitting at a table and one of them thought they were cute talking on somebody else's wife. The entire internet would have been on that man's ass. Talking about why you talking about that woman like that. Look at what they're doing with Pete Davidson and Kanye. Look what they did with Drake when he said what he said about Kim K. What are we doing? And right, Michelle Bathe, you seem like a very nice person. You should have nicely checked her on that. You sat there laughing as well. Now, if I'm Sterling, I'm sitting there and I'm looking at you. When you come home, I got a question. Like, y'all just going, you actually sat there and let her talk to me like that? Talk about me like that? And you didn't check her? Nah, we got a problem there. You gonna have to explain this to me. And this is all she was doing through the whole thing. Why do you have to be the hypermasculine woman? Why can't you just sit there and be yourself? Now, if hypermasculine is yourself, okay, then everything I said is invalidated. But I'm pretty sure it's not. You don't have to perform, man. You were sitting at a table with black women who are being vulnerable. You can be vulnerable. You can let down the defense mechanisms for an hour. It's not going to kill your image. And in actuality, it helps your image if you show vulnerabilities. It actually does. It's not a sign of weakness. I know in the black community, they think vulnerabilities is weakness. No, it shows people that you're fallible. You're not perfect. So what you did there, I get it. You're probably the baby of the group, so you don't know. But hopefully you'll be around these women, some of them, longer, and you can glean some of that off of them. Because that's not going to work. Because if you're looking for a potential mate and a family, that's not going to be something good that a man's or woman are going to be like, you know, I kind of want to deal with that. Nah. But yeah, folk, she has to get, she takes the crown of the most annoying person on there. I had to give her a 9 because that was too much, way too much. It felt like you were watching a special and then it became an Instagram video. Nah, can't do that. Can't do that. All right, folks, we made it to the end. I'm like encroaching on Professor Black Truth Sunday essay territory. Jesus, I didn't even realize it was going to be almost an hour. But yeah, like I said, there was a lot in there. But I encourage y'all to go watch it. Please go watch it because I know me just doing a recap of it is just a recap. But there's so much in there that you have to like really look. You got to get people's facial expressions and everything. I mean, me putting up still pictures is just, it's not enough. You got to like really watch it. So yeah, go ahead and watch it. Enjoy yourself. Maybe keep the trash can next to where you're at. But, you know, this is what I do. I did it for the culture. Me and Judge Joe Brown, we did it for the culture. But anyway, let me get up out of here. You already know what to do. Share, like, and subscribe. That's right, share, like, and subscribe because I'm not like other YouTubers. I'm different. Take care, stay safe, and for all 10 of these women that were on that show, the culture is not black women. The culture is not black children. The culture is not black men. The culture is be one. Black first. That's the culture. That's the mindset.